This is nice, man. I used to do talking shows here years ago in that little room. No, there's nothing wrong with the little room except that there's always like the 9 o'clock show, which is, I don't know how many of you ever been to like the alcohol gig they have over there. It's always you versus the drunk guy. Always. Doesn't matter what gig. If you play music or you're just doing this, can you get that feedback thing out of the mic there? Thanks. Anyway, it's always you versus the obnoxious prick. And he's always like right in the darkness so you really can't see, even though the room is as big as your bathroom. This one time, years ago, we played there with a band. This one guy was awesome. He might be in here tonight, plowed under already. But he was smoking this big old joint. And I'm not, I don't need dope things, but he was perfect. He was like timing my breathing. I'm like right up front, going, that shit. And he sees me exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. He was like, I inhale. I did this still like, hey man, let's stop the song and just do something a lot more, kind of nice. But this is cool, man. This is nice to be here. I'm glad you all are in out of the cold. I hear it's supposed to go down to 0 tonight, so. No. The last couple of weeks I've been all over upstate New York and Canada and everything, and it's just been freezing, man. And the other day I did this free show at this university, which is great because everyone's in a good mood and everything. They come in, you can't beat the ticket price, But you have to show your student ID, so they had this really bullshit way of getting everyone in. You go up 2 hours before the gig, you sign your name in, then you get in this line, and then you come in again and show your ID. So I got out of the car to go into this theater place, and I go from the car to the loading dock, and I'm already subthermal, almost freezing. It's 8 below, that cold, biting cold that just gets into your bone marrow. And I see all these people standing in this line. And I don't know, I just see a bunch of people standing still in the cold, this. You go, what a bunch of idiots. Would you stand outside, in the cold? No, not if you didn't have to. So I say to the promoter, look at these jerks standing in line. And he just kind of goes uh-huh. And I just start going, flapping my mouth. What are these guys in college? What a bunch of morons standing in a line in the cold. What the fuck are they waiting for? The free chili bar to open? And the guy said, no, they're waiting to see you. I was I didn't know. I felt like such an asshole. I was I'm sorry. And we went in there and hung out for an hour waiting for people to get in. It was one person per minute, and they would come in blue-gray, fingers breaking off. And we're in there with these big hot cups of coffee, I was on the most massive guilt trip watching them come in, so I was bagging on them. Just because when you see anyone standing in a line, unless you're in one, and that just really pisses you off. This just made me think. When you stand in line, does it occur to you that everyone ahead of you is an idiot who has no idea what they're there for? No, seriously, if you stand in line at the post office, 30 people ahead of you, you're at the back, you want a stamp, a 29-cent stamp. You have the letter in your hand, you have a quarter and 4 pennies with you. You go in, you go out, boom. 30 people stand ahead of you. They're trying to mail their children. The guy's got his kid with 4 $1 stamps, plastic buses for him. We're going to go to Camp Weekoo one way or the other, you little shit. Or they're moving really, really slow. Or they're trying to mail livestock. Or they have the registered certified letter. Whatever it is, it takes a long, 11-minute time. Each person, I'd like to, I have this letter. And they're asking the postal clerk, should I send it or not? Can I see what different kinds of stamps you have? Meanwhile, you're getting so mad. You're just I don't know about you. I get so pissed off standing in line, knowing that all these people are just nothing but extras in my movie, in my way. I know that's a bit selfish. But I think that everyone is a total self-serving humanoid. I think everyone in the world is totally self-serving, but everyone wants to come off like their Mother Teresa. Oh, I like everyone. Everyone's cool. Right on with people. Inside, invisibly, you're just like stabbing people in the ass with a hat pin. You stand in front of you in line. Like, what are you doing? And some people, when they get in line ahead of you, are automatically so stupid, you gotta think they've been hired by some government agency. Like the post office. The 30 people ahead of you in the post office. All you want is the stamp, okay? Can you imagine? You're 2 blocks away inside the post office. What's in there? About 30 people lounging around, eating donuts and drinking coffee. One guy is on lookout, looking through the window. He's in sight. Black pants, black shirt, black shoes. He's holding a letter. He's flipping some coins in his hand. Okay, places everyone. Everyone drops the coffee and donuts. Everyone like, gets in line. They got the little extra children, kids. Okay, everyone. What are you all looking so alert for? Come on, everyone. Look like you just got smacked in the head with a rock. Oh, that's right. And then you come in, the mark, and they're all like... Sometimes people are like that, and you think you've been set up. Okay, like I was at 2 different airports today. All you hear at the airport is like 3 or 4 different intercoms all going off at once, and you have no idea what either one of them is saying. The treble is always too high up. It destroys your hearing, and you don't know where you are. You sit in a chair for 40 minutes. You are bombarded with useless and unnecessary noise. You get paranoid that you're going to miss your flight. You just want to attach yourself to the guy. Please tell me where I'm supposed to go. I just want to get to Minneapolis today. Sir, just sit down and wait for the announcement. I've tried waiting for your fucking announcement, man. But all your speakers are blown, and the guy talking obviously has no lower jaw or something. Well, they should at least have people who can enunciate. And I figured that no one in this room, I bet no one in this room wants to be an asshole. You don't try. You don't wake up in the morning, go out and go, okay, I'm gonna go fuck shit up. Okay? But here's what I think happens. You wake up in the morning not thinking that I'm going to be the world's nicest person and people are okay and I'm non-judgmental. You don't think about anything. You think about, I got to go to work, I got to go to school, I'm walking out. Why is it so many times you leave the house thinking everyone's okay, I don't have a problem, I don't want to get into an altercation or argument. The first person who walks by you, oh, you don't have a problem with people, do you? No, I think they're okay. And for the rest of the day, you are this fuming asshole, okay? Here's this theory I have. I think that in every major city, there's 10 to 400, some agency has 400 hyper, asshole, just trouble and unrest instigators. They get up at the crack of dawn, they go up to newspaper throwers and milk truck drivers, and they just spit on them. Hey, come on. How many people are in this band tonight, Sir Simon? How many people, how many ins do we have on stage? Hey, oh look, just this! Can we get a mic to work? He's gonna fuck with me the rest of the night. Echo, reverb, up and down and up and down. And I think I'll turn off the vocals right now and now. I was just here, and I think my theory is sound. Okay, the asshole unrest instigator goes into the neighborhood, sees the local paper boy, walks up to him. Hey man, you delivered papers, huh? Yeah. Guy takes the paper, throws it through the front window of the house. Husband wakes up, grabs the gun, poses out with Lethal Weapon 3 moves he learned from TV. He's never even really shot the gun, okay? But he's watched the video, so he's and he cases out his own hallway. Okay? Runs downstairs to find the burglar, getting ready to use his 9mm Glock handgun. He's never fired, he's never even heard a real gunfire, except in movies, so he's just all he sees is broken glass, feels cold air, and sees a newspaper. little bit of urine comes down the leg there, shaking. He notices it wasn't even loaded. He had both safeties on. In a real situation, he would have been dead. He is so pissed off. He runs upstairs. His wife is like, ah! What'd you do that for? The paper boy broke the fucking window. Okay, meanwhile, all you hear down the stairs is like, he's throwing him through every window. Why? Some guy spat on him. Okay. The wife is so pissed off, she gets up and just starts manically cooking breakfast. She doesn't know what else to do. The young son comes in, rubbing his eyes. Mom, why are we up at 6 a.m.? Shut up! The kid goes, like, why'd you hit me? Because your father hit me. He goes staggering down the hall. There's the pooch sleeping in the hallway. Okay? The dog just runs around looking for something to bite. It's so pissed off. Dad goes to work, kids goes to school, dog jumps over the back fence of the backyard. Dad goes to work, smacks his secretary. Kid goes to school, wails on the first kid he can. Dog jumps across the street, goes over to the first woman he sees coming out of her house, bites her. Okay? Meanwhile, the secretary, she goes out, she slugs the boss, she gets fired, she goes out on a killer rampage. The boss goes and fires half the staff. The kid is now in chains in therapy in some, preschool hell. Okay, bottom line, here's what happens. By noon, in every major city, everyone is pissed off. By lunchtime, everyone is just walking around like Manhattan, New York, just like... And I think it's in the wee hours of the morning that the assholes start creeping into the world, causing unrest. And because all it takes is just one little tiny thing, one little action from one of these just primo asshole guys, and your whole day is shot. You say things you don't want to say, you do things you regret, and you end up just the whole day is like, carbon monoxide coming out of your ears. Like, have you ever seen like the nice normal guy or girl? Say it's a guy, okay? He gets into his car. I'm going to go to work today. He gets on the highway, 65 miles an hour, 60, 50, 40, 20, down to a snail's pace. Why? Because everybody driving ahead of him obviously does not know how to drive. They're all retarded, and he doesn't even want to go out and discuss this with them. All he wants to do is kill all of them. When you are behind the wheel and the traffic is slowed, you go like, gee, I sure wish these guys would hurry up. No. In your mind, you're like, fuck you, fucking gonna kill. I want to kill. Well, don't you just want to give them a stern talking? No, I want to murder. I want to drop a bomb. You like to call in an airstrike. Get on the cellular, call in a Phantom 14 airstrike. Okay, hello, Almighty. We raise you down below. Okay, I've got okay, can you see down on the 405? Okay, I'm going west. Okay, I have a red Pacer. Okay, 74. Okay, on the hood I got this airbrush job. It's like a wizard. It's like standing on a mountain holding like this crystal ball. Okay, and at the foot of the mountain is like this Conan guy holding up a sword. And he's got this like large-chested woman and like wearing chains, kind of with her arms around his leg, looking up expectantly at his crotch. Okay, that's my car. Don't drop any napalm on that, okay? Drop it on the green Pinto ahead of mine for about the next 7 miles to exit 13J, okay? Thanks. All right, buddy, you got that napalm. You just want to kill everyone in every car ahead of you because they're all retarded. They obviously don't know how to drive. You envision the conversations going on or what's going on in the minds of the drivers ahead of you. You're like, I guess I'll just drive really slow. I don't want to go anywhere. I'll just get on a highway and drive 12 miles an hour. When the real story is nobody on the highway is that stupid. You just get overly pissed off. Now, the guy in the car behind yours, he's looking at your pointy head, and you know what he's thinking? Die, motherfucker, die, die! Little tiny things just piss you off so much that if you actually lose control and let, the verbiage come out, or say, you get out of your car and get into a... Have you ever seen, a guy cut another guy off on a street where you drive 25 miles an hour, and it turns into a thing where two guys are facing off in the middle of the street? I was in Boston the other day. We saw, a taxi cab waiting to pick up someone. There's a limo behind him. Limo's beeping, and the taxi guy goes, hey man, why don't you just cool it a second? The limo guy, the driver, gets out. Come on! And there's like this whole thing in the street, and like everyone stops to watch the two assholes. And you're like, what is going on with these people? So finally, the cab driver, he went back in his cab, and the limo driver went back in his limo, and then the cab driver ran out, spat on the window, spat on the window of the limo, and drove off real fast. I'll show him. And like here's like this 42-year-old cab driver, like, what'd you do today, honey? I spat on a car. Why? Because he wouldn't go. He wouldn't drive, so I spat it on him. This is pathetic. I nearly had a total panic, anxiety, fury attack on a 4-year-old child the other day. I'm in a hotel. I'm sitting on the bed waiting to go to the gig. Door knocks. The road manager. We're going down to the gig. Oh boy. I open up the door. It is this little child standing at the door. I'm like, and the kid is standing there with like tears welling in his eyes, just like panicked. I'm lost. Can you help me find my room? I'm like, oh, of course I will. And you've all been to the major department store. You make one false move, like your mom is. Did you ever get dragged to like the Macy's, Woodward, and Lothrop? It's excruciating. Honey, we're just going in for a little while. 5 minutes is an eternity in those places. You're not this high, nothing but big garments. Now I used to like lose my mind in those places, but you make one turn, all of a sudden you don't see your mom. You can't even really see anything above 3 feet high, and you're like, you'll never see your mother again. I mean, she's a drag, but she feeds you, right? So you kind of want to come back into the fold, you know? And you can't even think straight. All you do is freak out, like, Well, maybe not you, but me. I used to get lost everywhere. I get lost at the beach. I get lost in the hallways of hotels. I get lost in men's rooms. Henry, I'm over here. Sorry. So the kid is just like, I'm lost in the hallway. I can't find my room. I'm like, oh, I'll help you, little son. I remember what it was like to be terrified, just like you. So I go out and I'm leaving the room. I'm like, and I nearly lock my damn key in the room. I'm like, whoa! Grab the door with my foot, put that do not disturb thing in there, slide it. I'm like, okay, stay. Good door. Thank you. I'm in room 409. Because he's so short, he can't see the numbers on the doors. I said, I'll help you. He's running ahead of me like, And he's like, he only missed it by like 4 doors, you know? So I go, hey, come here. He's like way down the hall. I go, come here, look. Here's 409. There's your door. And the door is slightly ajar. And he goes up to the door, and I figure he's just going to go like, gee, thanks a lot, mister. Thank you. And I go, it's okay, little son. And I can feel like the good guy, right? He goes into the door, doesn't even look at me, slams it behind him. I'm like, shit. It just made me so mad. I just wanted to grab him. Hello, son. Look at me. Say these words. Say thank you. Say thank you. Larsa Menace! Larsa Menace! Larsa fucking Menace! I'm so mad. I'm so mad at the audacity of this little kid. Who does he think he is? Doesn't he know who I am? I'm the singer, damn it! I was so pissed off. I went back to this hotel room. Fuck everyone. Fuck everyone. Kill everyone. Destroy. I hate them. Next person I see, it's gonna kill. So the door knocks again. Tour manager. Open up the door. Okay, let's go. Now let's fucking kick this. The kid is coming down the hallway again with the mother. Oh, the kid comes up and goes, it's him. He says, are you the man who helped my son get back to our room? Yes, I am. I'd like to thank you very much. I hope my son didn't disturb you. Not a problem at all. You should say thank you. And you never talk to kids with their mom. They know they don't have to say shit to anyone. They just like hug the mom's leg and look up. your son killed my dog. Well? So I said, you should say thank you. I can't help it. I'm losing it in front of a mom and a kid this big. You should learn to be polite. You should not be rude. Thank you is something that we say when someone does someone else a favor. The kid is just like, the mother's looking at me like, get a grip. I was this far from being in the hallway. Can't you just say it? Can't you just say that you're right there? Say it, you rude little shit. I went to the gig totally steaming. You're like, hey man, it's really cool that you're in Ann Arbor. Fuck you. God, what's your problem? Some little kid dissed me, man. It doesn't take much. The other day I was in Hamburg, Germany. I did a whole month of shows in Europe. Whenever you're in Hamburg, they always put you in a hotel near this one strip, this one big street called the Reeperbahn. There's always one. Hurrah! Rock on! The Reeperbahn is this strip where they have all the sex clubs. You can get any drug you want, any skin trade, young boys, old women, women with beards, donkeys with panties. You know. It's the strip, you know? And it's also a place where you can get stabbed, killed. It's really regressive, man. It's like really tough. And whenever you stay there, if you're with the band or on your own, they always stick you in a hotel near the Reeperbahn, as if it's the only place you want to go as soon as the gig is over. I can just imagine all these bands like, thank you, good night, clang, throwing the guitar to a roadie. Give me to the Reeperbahn right now. I want heroin, I want beer, I want booze, I want women, I want murder, I want death. Come on, let's go. I don't think so. You never see people in bands on that place. People in bands would really surprise you. They'd really let you down when you found out how boring they are after shows. Me and Ian from Fugazi had this debate. We sat down one day and we argued who had the more boring band. And we sat there like, okay, how many books do you guys read on an average per month? And we're like, oh, well, easily, you know, we have to bring boxes, we have to bring a bus for all the books that we read. And then the guitar player has this microscope and slide set. And I'm always working on my stamp collection. We just like kept upping the ante. Our band, we're pathetic. It's just pathetic. We played, the best example was Sylvania, Australia. Last time we were there, it was awesome. We had to play with this band, like it's like this punk, such a punk band, man. It's like Australia's like the land that time forgot. I mean, it's like 1972. There's still got stack heels, bell bottoms. They're discoing, you know. It's nuts. I guess it's coming back. But anyway, this shit's for real there. I mean, when you tell these guys that Casey and the Sunshine Band are like no more, those are fighting words. You know? No, he's not, mate. You know. And so we were playing with like this ultra punk band, like, you know, Johnny Snotboy or something. And the guy's got the full, you know, hairdo, and he's just up there with the mic going, yeah. And the guy brought his own smoke machines, okay? And, you know, I can see, you know, some bands like to put smoke in the air and shit. This was just overkill. I think he was doing it to punk out. And it was just like, you couldn't see anything. It was like being in a cloud. He had these strobe lights going, and he had like all these punk rock girls kind of like cabaret dancing, but they're all, you know, wasted, so they're all just like... And it was actually pretty cool, because it was just so surreal looking, with the lights and the smoke, and all these women staggering around, and this guy up front doing this thing. And we were all like, are we on drugs? What is this band? It's so hilarious. I mean, the band is like at this screeching volume. It's like, whoa. There's our guitar player, like in the lotus position, right on the side of the stage, serenely reading some penguin pressing, you know, Plato or Socrates. So he's just like, meanwhile on stage, all these people, all these lights and smoke, like Rome is burning, and there's Haskett. It's like this. But anyway. Hamburg, back in there. They always stick you near the Reeperbahn. It's like a place you never want to go unless you want trouble, or if you're looking for heroin, or, you know, like I'm looking for either. You know, so anyway, I wake up in the morning in Hamburg the other day, jet lagging, not knowing where I am. They just like dumped me in this hotel at like 2 a.m. Sleep here. Okay, you know. And I get up and all I got is English pounds in my pocket. So I said, gotta get some Deutschmarks, you know. So I go to the lady, I go, hey lady, you know, at the counter, where can I cash these in for some marks? She goes, oh, go to David Street and smell, inhale for urine and vomit, and go that way. That is the Reeperbahn. I'm like, oh no! They haven't stuck me to the Reeperbahn again. How many times do I have to come to this town before I like don't have to get stuck there, you know? So anyway, I go to David Street. Oh! Urine and vomit, that way, I swear to God, and that strip is just stenching. You go out onto the street and there's like the cold piles of vomit with the chewed up food items in it. And it's interesting, when people get really shit-faced, they always go for those foods that just make you vomit, even if you looked at them when you were straight. You know that big lamb thing, that big lamb ball on the stick that goes around and around, and the guy goes grrr, grrr, and cuts it off with that GE plastic, turkey carving thing, and puts it in the pita bread and sticks on that diabolical hot sauce stuff, and you eat it and it explodes in your stomach. If you take that into your body, combine it with 6 beers and like 4 big gulps of some hard alcohol, you will vomit across the street. Your body will reject this, so it'll go, absolutely not! And on the street, you will walk down the street and see like, oh look, lamb, bits, pita bread, and people never chew the onions and the vegetable part of it enough. They're like, because when you're fucked up, you can't even feel your gums, right? So you just eat it up, and then like, and like when you see these cold piles of puke with the food items, you can like look and make a straight line with your hand and find the actual restaurant where they got it at. Like, there! You know, you can even see like little mouthfuls of puke leading up to like, the big one. So anyway, I go onto the Reeperbahn, very careful to step over the piles of cold vomit. In every doorway, there's vomit on this side of the doorway, urine on the other. It's like, whoa, the Reeperbahn, woo. And it's early in the morning and nothing's open, and the clouds are about down to here. German clouds, very unrelenting. Tough town. Everywhere in Germany is a tough town. But anyway, I'm walking by this row of stores on the old Reeperbahn, and I come by this one store, and in the window is nothing but guns, handguns, knives, billy clubs, police batons, and cigarette lighters. That's all they sold. Now, I stood there, jet lagging, a little, kind of getting awake, just like tripping out, looking at all the guns and knives and billy clubs and cigarette lighters, thinking, who would come up with an idea like that? Like, Eureka! I know what I'll do. I'll open a store, and in the store we'll sell guns, knives, cigarette lighters, and one other thing. Billy clubs. That's it! He goes to the loan, get the loan from the bank. I have this great idea, and the guy approves the loan. Great! You'll go over the top selling weapons and ways to light cigarettes and houses on fire. Good going! So I'm looking in this window at like all these different 9mm handguns and revolvers and all that shit, and I'm looking at all the knives. The knives are hilarious because you can kind of front with a gun if you go to buy one. I have a son and a wife, and I want this gun to protect my household. And if you buy guns in America, the guy who sells the guns, he doesn't give a flying fuck what you want to buy the gun for. You can walk in there and, hey, I want to get a shotgun because I'm going to wait for 3 o'clock when all those 8th graders get out, and I'm just going to blow them to pieces. Great, buddy. How many rounds you want? Cash or charge? They don't care. I want a gun to protect my family. All right, buddy. Next guy comes in, I'm going to March 12 people into the walk-in freezer of that Burger King across the street and blow them in half. All right, buddy. As long as you can pay, you can have it, So I'm thinking, how do you front with a knife, though? Because none of these knives, none of them were for, like, camping or the kitchen area. They're all just, I'm going to hurt you, you know? They have the little knife, the blade that long, with the handle that looks like your palm. You hold it in your palm, like this. The blade comes through your knuckles. So you've got this thing, you know, morning, Dad, how are you? Ah! Or like when you're standing in line at the post office, you're just like, and you can't take it anymore. Ow, why are you stabbing me? Because you're in front of me and basically, fuck you. You know? Oh, another thing. Why is it that some people, when they walk down the sidewalk, they need the entire city to walk? Why can't people just stay in their little fucking lanes? Okay? Why, like, you see the guy and the girl walking down the street, oh, they're in love. Like, two people, right? Two people, 2 lanes, I reckon. No, 2 people, 6 lanes. They're back and forth all over the place. She bumps into him, oh, and they're like this. You're behind them, actually, you know, oh, excuse me, I need to go somewhere with my life, you know? And you're like, you just have to get in the street on the other side of the parked cars and just express by them. People like that, I feel like kicking in their asses. I'm sorry. Or like the guy or the girl who walk down the street, like, time will never run out. Like, they don't have to go anywhere, anytime. I'll just walk. I don't even know where I'm going. I'll just walk and get in everyone's way. And no one seems to get pissed off. Me, I am livid. I'm like behind this, like, I just want to, get the fuck out of my way! What are you doing? You have to go somewhere? I always have to go somewhere! I always know where I'm going! I have my shit together, mister! Come on, man, mellow out. No! Yesterday I was walking in New York, and there's ice everywhere. Every city block, someone was eating total shit. They're like walking with a briefcase. You're like, oh! And everyone's walking really cautiously because all the sidewalks are icy, and so everyone's like this. Or I'll just stand on this sidewalk and block 2 lanes and talk with my friend. I was just like, I just go crazy. I go back to the hotel room, take the medication. Anyway, so Hamburg, the knives. So we see the first knife, you know, that one. Then they have that other bullshit knife where the handle is in 2 pieces. You've seen that, so you can flip the handle around. Like on Miami Vice, you know, the guy comes out of the bushes. Okay, if someone came up to you, I'm going to stab you, you're like, oh shit, the guy pulls out the knife and like does that in front of you. You know, the 2 handles that swing apart, the butterfly knife. He's doing all these amazing acrobatics with it. He says he's going to stab you. Are you going to stand around? Like, wow, before I get killed, I'm really being entertained by that knife. If you really intended on stabbing someone, if it's, you know, some guy gets in your face, I'm going to kick your ass. Oh, no, you're not. I'm going to stab you with this. Do you think you're really going to have your shit together enough to pull out a knife and go like this? And then physically stab someone? I don't think so, okay? 3 things to do in that situation. When the guy pulls out the knife and starts doing all this shit in front of you, you know, real, if it's not on TV, if you're in the real world, where it'll never happen, but anyway, you can A, which would have destroyed the Kung Fu movie industry. Like, Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee, the amazing display of, you know, nunchuck prowess. In Lethal Weapon 4, that shit wouldn't make it. Are you ready? Goodbye, you know, it'd be over with. Or, you could pull out the more sensible knife if you're going to, like, hurt people on the street, which would be about this big. Oh, well, he's like, ow, I just stabbed you, I wasn't finished yet. Or your last option, C, which is the one I recommend, is run. C is the best one. Just run. If the guy goes, I have a knife, I'm going to stab you, don't go, should I A? Or just go for C. And I'm going to Where'd he go? He ran away so he can live to fight another day. Anyway, I'm looking at that knife thinking, what a bullshit item that is. You know, and then the biggest bullshit item, it was the best, was this knife with a blade about this long. And I am not exaggerating, it's about this long, handle about, 6 to 8 inches long. On the blade it says, Rambo 3. This knife serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever. Can you use it in the kitchen? No. You cut a tomato with it, you'll destroy the tomato. Can you go camping with it? No, what do you do, cut down trees with it? There's nothing you can do with a knife this big. I know what I'll do. I'll strap it inside my crotch, so I'll be able to take care of people on the street and try and fuck with me. It's so big, no one will mess with me. It's so big, you will get killed before you get to the RA when you're pulling it out. Like, I'm gonna kick your ass. Oh, no, you're not. By the time you're here, the guy has cut your arms and legs off, taken your wallet, maxed out all your credit cards, taken your shoes, and left your bleeding ass on top of 2 cinder blocks, shoeless. And you haven't even gotten to the B in Rambo yet. So in the real world, this knife has no purpose. It's like this bullshit macho item that you buy for a lot of money. You go home, lock the door, because you don't want anyone to see you doing this shit. Talking to me? Talking to me? And you do that for like 45 minutes, and then you put it in the top drawer of your dresser, and you never pull it out again. And you wish someone would have come up to you and said, don't buy that. Don't buy that stupid thing. Because about 50 minutes from right now, 5 minutes later when you get home, you're going to be done with it. And you're going to be really feeling stupid that you paid $260 for this thing. Don't buy it. But it's big, man. It weighs like 8 pounds. It's fucking gnarly. It says Rambo 3 on it. Don't do it. Here, come with me. I'll buy you breakfast. I'll talk you out of it. This thing has absolutely no purpose at all. like a lot of Sylvester Stallone movies have no purpose whatsoever. Think of the arm wrestling one he did. No, it's called, come on. I mean, if you would have read any of these scripts, none of you would have taken the jump. You want me to say this? No, you would have taken the script, right into the trash can, but not Sylvester Stallone. I'll go for it. Over the top. Let's see. I have been estranged and alienated from my son by my rich ex-wife, so he has been sent to a private school to turn into a pussy while I drive in this truck alone, and my name is Sam Hawk, and I deal with a bunch of retarded redneck people in bars who seem to all know who I am. And I've got this weight thing in my front seat where I pull it down and weights go up so I can work on my arm strokes, right? Okay? And to get back the love of my son, I have to wrestle a man who's about as big as a refrigerator and has arms like light poles, but it's my movie, right? So I win, and I take it over the top, right? And I get back the love of my son. And this is to show people that I'm a very sensitive and intelligent and erudite actor. And so there's this great moment. I have rewound this scene so many times trying to clone it, but I can't do it. Because, he always says, people say I talk like an idiot, right? But it's only because half my face does not work because I was pulled out of the womb by pliers, right? So my face does not work, right? But I'm very erudite. I could probably do Hamlet, Okay, he takes it over the top in the movie. His lip goes halfway down his neck. And the guy always insists on close-ups whenever there's like the big action part. He goes over the top. It looks like he's trying to shit a fire hydrant. The lip goes all the way. Me and my friend really shit ourselves watching this. Rewinding it, standing in front of the TV going, okay, your turn, go ahead. No, man, gotta get the lip look. We'll tie a 10-pound weight in a string to my lip. That's better. You know, we tried it like for at least 40 minutes. So we couldn't, you know, we were laughing too hard. But anyway, there's this great scene in Rambo 2 where he's sitting in like the dugout canoe with the throwaway love interest. Okay, now in so many of these shoot-'em-up films, the women in the films have two purposes. First, they must show their breasts. Second, they must die. Okay? So what do? I'm a Hollywood actress. I'll show my breasts, I get blown away. Like, check the Lethal Weapon films. Any guy, any girl that Mel Gibson likes, she must die. But first, she's got to flash him. She's got to flash him, and then she dies. Okay, so John Rambo is sitting in this canoe with the fake love interest lady, and you know she's got to die because they're getting intimate. She's even calling him John. John, I hope after this we can be friends. Okay, this is the great part. This is why Hamburg, come on in. This is why I was looking through the window at the Rambo 3 knife, laughing, like alone on the street, go, because in this scene, he takes the knife and puts it between their two faces, like right in the camera, goes, "This is my only friend." Okay, now, if you were in the theater watching that shit, like I was, you probably got beat up too. Because I was like, this is my only friend. There's like all these like middle American men behind them, fucking A, man. I'm gonna kick your fucking ass after the show, man. After this, when those credits roll, man, you and I are gonna go in the lobby, man. This is my only friend, fucking A. And like people walk up to that window and see that knife. Oh man, hey, man, you remember when he like, this is my only friend? That was awesome, man. I gotta have one of those, man. So I'm like looking at all these knives, and I'm just trying to figure out what kind of clientele this guy gets in his store. Like, time to open up the store. And he goes in, there's like nothing but a bunch of sickos coming out. I want a lighter and 4 of those 9mm handguns. You have like a ski mask. Oh yeah, okay, you know. And so I'm just looking into this window, just like tripping out on all this stuff, like the billy clubs. Like, what civilian needs a billy club? Like, what do you do with a billy club? Well, if someone breaks into my house, I'm gonna run up to an intruder in my house and hit him with a stick. That'll fix it. Who here would have the balls to run up to a guy and hit him with like a 2.5-foot stick if the guy had the audacity to come into your home? I think you'd be more like, could you really go up like, okay, man, smack? I don't think so. I don't know. I'd like to see what I would do in that situation. Because in the real world, if you don't use the weapon that fast, they'll be pulling it out of your ass at the hospital. Oh, Mr. Rollins, just release Henry, just relax the sphincter muscles. It's the only way it's going to come out. I'd be the one who would be having it up my ass. So I'm looking at all the weapons of destruction. It's going like, what a fucked up store. All it does is vend more weapons into the world, as if we don't have enough already, okay? I'm looking into this window going like, I hate this kind of shit. From out of nowhere. Remember, I just like left the hotel, not meaning to, I'm not pissed off at anyone. Hey, nice day in Hamburg, I'm on the Reeperbahn again for the 30th time. Okay, no big deal, I can handle that. From out of nowhere, this big face, some guy is staring right at me. He's like, this huge guy is in my face. He pokes me in my cheek, grins at me and goes, duh. And I'm like, and I immediately look into the reflection of my face in the shop window, thinking, hairpiece on wrong? Butt sticking out of pants? What? How dumb do I look? I mean, I'm just standing there in like a sweatshirt and these dark pants. I mean, I'm looking into a window. I'm a very generic looking person. Why am I getting shit from this guy? What is he trying to communicate with me? What is he trying to say? You know, maybe he's tired like I am. I don't know. So I look at him again, and he just goes, duh. And I take a step back, because in my mind I'm going like, kill the asshole. He has been sent to fuck with me. He's one of those guys. He gets up early in the morning, he starts it going on. He is taken 2 paces back. He's about 6'3", at minimum 200 pounds, and he's like standing like this, grinning at me. He has 3 friends behind him. They're all standing like this. I think they want to kick my ass if I do one tiny little thing to antagonize them back. Like, what am I going to go? All right, first you, the big guy, I'm going to kick your fucking ass, and yeah, you 3 idiots, line up, because I'm going to be kicking your ass. Oh, you want all 4 at once? Fine, no problem. 1 body for each limb, no problem, man. I don't think so. All I could do is just look at him and go, and like walk away, you know? For the rest of the day, you would have hated me if you saw me that day. I was the biggest dick. I was unparalleled. I was outstanding as far as being a total asshole. Every cab I took, got out of the cab, BAM! Slammed the door as hard as I could, got out and rolled the window. Hey, well, what is your problem? Fuck you. Fuck you, cab man. Get the fuck out of your cab. You want to die? The guy goes, hey, no way. He drives away. Wouldn't it have been funny if the knife and gun and billy club and cigarette lighter store was open? Wouldn't have that been a real hoot? Hey, big man, stay, don't go anywhere. Go in there. Did you take American Express? Yeah. Okay, I want that Rambo 3 knife and that big Daryl Gates autographed billy club in the window there. Okay. No, I don't need a holster, and I don't need that ring thing for the belt. Just give me, yeah, okay. You know, thanks. Put the card away, sign it. Hey, do you have like a video 8 camera, high 8 camera? Okay. You see the big grinning idiot out there, the big tall guy looks like a tree? Okay. Focus your camera on him now. You're gonna love this. You'll be able to play this on a current affair next week. Okay? Check this out. Watch this. This is gonna blow your mind. Okay? Go out there. Big man. Remember what you just said to me about 2.5 minutes ago? Remember? I think it was about 5 times. Check this out. Yo, don't you ever say to me! Put the knife in right above the pubic bone. Leave the knife sticking out of his breastbone. Intestines going down his legs, steaming in the morning sun. I am covered with blood and all kinds of goo. Totally, I stabbed him so many times, I'm just exhausted. I barely have enough strength to pick up the billy club that I've stuck down the back of my pants. His 3 friends are like, okay, are you ready to die? Come on, come here. I'm just fucking crack your skull in. And why? Why? Because your dead brothers are dying. Okay. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little, but it's just those little tiny things like that, and that's how you really feel inside. The rest of your day, kill. I should have killed that guy. Damn it. I should have had a V8, you know, and it's not as if you want to like, I should have kicked his ass. Death. He should have been killed. That's it. Killed. The rest of the day, man, I went to all these different record stores and shit. There's another thing. You go to the record store. You go up here to the corner, Northern Lights. There'll be no one in there. Cool. You know what you want at the record store. You go in, goodbye, you buy it, and you go, because you have places to go, right? Why is it that there can be no one in the store? You want to go maybe to the Hendrix section. No one in the store except one guy standing at the Hendrix section, going through the records like, you stand to the side of this guy, kind of politely vibing him, like, hoping he'll go, oh, someone, I'm in the way of this guy who has a life. And he should get out of your way, right? Because he's in your way. Anyone in your way, die! Okay? I was going to these record stores, walking right up. Here's the guy going through the Hendrix thing. Oh, okay, yeah, it's good, yeah. Hey, man, what are you doing? Shut the fuck up, unless you want to die. Hey, man, what is your problem? What is my problem? What is my problem? Here's my fucking problem! This guy's a dirt to me! This guy's a dirt to me! I am almost 32 years old. I'm getting very angry. Don't call me immature. Do not call me immature in a public record store. That was me for the rest of the day. I was pathetic. By the time the sun was setting, I'm sitting in this hotel room, just waiting, hoping someone would come in through the wall to kill me. I was miserable. But that's how some of that shit makes you feel. You get so mad at strangers. But you shouldn't, because these days, you go out there, you argue about a baseball game with some guy in a 7-Eleven parking lot. You know what he does? I think you're wrong. And he shoots you. People shoot each other on the highway. You cut me off. That's the one nice thing about New York. It's usually just verbal. Hey, fuck you, okay, see you tomorrow. And they just drive. But I wanted to tell you this great thing that happened to me the other day. I was just trying to escape from England. Whenever I'm there, I want to go away. I've been ripping on England for years. There's nothing new. Oh, he doesn't like England again. The people I like, the people I meet at gigs, they're great people. The countryside itself, you could not find a more miserable burg in the world. A shitty, cold, gray rock plunked down in the cold, gray, shitty Atlantic Ocean. There it sits and festers and freezes and covers itself with grease and slime and white sugar and fucked up shitty food and nasty, shitty, whiny, pukey music comes just oozing out of the rock year after year after year. I would like to be hovering over it. Have all the members of Black Sabbath evacuated the island? Yep, they're in LA. Okay, drop it. All they would see is like this big 10.5-inch shoe just coming right down on their heads. Oh no, he's finally done it. His ego has become so huge he's going to stomp on us. That's right! And you know, I'm just having a bit of fun. I mean, the English are really cool, man. I've been there like 19 times. I'll be back there in like 3 weeks. I always go there, you know? But I was like ripping on them because they're just like this. You wish they would just take some more vitamin C or something. You know? Come on, get up, you know? I just want to walk around with like a belt with like vitamin C tablets. Just go up to everyone I see. Come here. Yes, don't be so fucking polite. Come here. Open your mouth. Excuse me. Open your mouth. All right, now take 2 of these every day until color comes back into your face. Until you get a pulse back in your body. And stop eating that shitty food and turn off those stupid ass records. Okay. And drop and give me. No, just give me 2. You know? They have the audacity to have the weather report on television there. And today's weather is, were you here yesterday? It is, okay, every day for your miserable, stinking British life, for the last 40 years, if you will, has been the same, so really this weather report is totally irrelevant, but unless I have this job, I go out on the dole and I become a totally useless, money-grubbing piece of shit, so tomorrow's weather is, you know, same as, you know, status quo. The sun comes out for like 40 seconds a year. You see men and women grabbing their children. Look, child! The sun! The sun! Check your watch. It's gone. Oh, it's about... Look, it's the sun! You missed it, man. And everywhere you go, it's just... Every town is tough. Every town is depressed. Everything is covered with, like, coal slime. And everything is gray. And everyone is just, like, down in the dumps. You really... If you were a young person growing up in England, man, it would make you want to be in the Joy Division. It's well, people, it's tough. It's like an entire island that is Philadelphia. Like, ah! You know, when you go there and you walk around, you can see why Morrissey happened. You can see. You can understand that guy in The Cure. Like if you were just walking down the street in New York and he came up to you and did his thing, you'd be like. But in England, everyone's just kind of walking around. I mean, it makes sense when you're there. So. I was over there a couple of weeks ago doing these shows and having a really great time, man. People are really cool. Got to play in Birmingham, which is where Sabbath comes from, man. Which is like so righteous. I was like I covered the entire city just hoping that maybe one of those guys had stood in one of those spots. Maybe Tony Iommi stood right here. I wonder where these guys looked around and got the idea for Iron Man. I was like so into it, man. Being in Birmingham. Maybe Ozzy looked down the street. I better do it too. I was just into it. But anyway, I was in London the other day, and it was like a day off. Like, good, fun. I can go and just do something, you know? And the record company lady says, Henry, she's like, you know, I think I'm dying. Why, Allison, why are you dying? Because the new Smiths compilation is 2 days late coming on to the stores, and I die. You know, like, hey, Allison, come on, Allison, here, drink some carrot juice, come on, walk around the room a little. Anyway, she says, would you please do this TV show we have lined up for you? I'm like, come on, I won't do this. She said, it's the biggest show in England, and it's called The Word, and it is the most widely watched television show in England. And I'm supposed to feel really lucky that I have this great career opportunity. And so I'm like, I don't want to do this shit. She's like, please do it so I don't lose my job, okay? I went, okay, I'll do it, you know. So what it is, it's a live TV show. They have about 300 young people there. They have bands play. They have like interesting and controversial guests. And the people actually sit on the couch like, you know, the Johnny Carson show where you are interesting and they talk to you and then you're not so hot anymore and you have to move down one. And they bring in someone way more interesting than you and he sits and talks for a while and then he's not so hot anymore and they bring in another person and you are moving down the couch for the rest of the gig. At the end of the show, you're off like in the wings and they're just like making like subtle references to you. Do you remember 9 hours ago when we had that the really boring guy? And you're like, hey! And you're like way off in the wings, covered with dust in the dark. Please! You know, and so it's a real panel show. And the host is kind of like this Letterman guy, where he kind of pisses you off, and then you start giving good TV. Like, sometimes you see Letterman, he'll get some, like, heavy-duty person on there. Like, one time he had Simon Le Bon on his show. You know, the kind of guy you would love to fuck with. You know, if you saw, like, you're Simon Le Bon. You know, just one of those guys, right? He had this guy on the show, and he had Simon Le Bon nearly, like, fighting him. You know, your band is pretty hilarious. Hey, come on, Simon, calm down. He, like, had to, you can't talk to me like that. He, like, storming him around. It was cool. But Letterman's also the kind of guy, if you saw him in a parking lot, you'd want to go, hey, Letterman, I think you're pretty funny. And then, like, you might just want to go, and another thing, and just, like, you know, smack him on, because he does kind of piss you off. Anyway, that's how this host is. So it's kind of like this kind of live experience. And so I get dragged to this studio. I don't want to do it, but I'm doing it. And I'm told to be there at 8 p.m. So I show up at 8 p.m., nice and punctual. It's part of being punk. You should be punctual. Show up. So I showed up at 8 o'clock, figuring I'm going to do this thing at 8:30. I'll be out of there by 9, and then I can go off and do something else. I find out I'm not going on until 11:20. I immediately turn into doo-doo boy, you know? Total asshole, you know? 32 years old. I sucked. I'm in this courtesy room with this lady, drinking way too much coffee. I finished the coffee. I don't want any more of that stuff. Have some more coffee. Well, I guess I'll do it. 16 cups in. You know, you're like just like trying to bite the woman's face. dust coming out of your mouth, like white shit around your lips. You're just like, you're just like a maniac, you know. So I'm sitting in this room like just convulsing from caffeine, like, you know, arteries are like hardening by the second. And I see Bob Geldof walk down the hall. Now, you know, this guy, you know, I have no problems with Bob Geldof. I don't know him, so who am I to talk any shit about Bob Geldof? All I know is he's that guy who put on Live Aid, he put together the We Are the World single, and he had the Boomtown Rats, and he's put out that just incredibly horrible solo record. And then he did that book called Is That It? Basically, he's pissed off because he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize for putting on 2 gigs and putting together a shitty record. Now, Warrant does like 150 shitty gigs a year and has put out like 5 shitty albums. And I don't see these guys writing a book about not getting a prize. I just see them rocking on. So I think this guy's a whiner and a complainer, you know? And besides, I'm on too much coffee. I'm pissed off about being in the studio, so of course I start ripping on old Bob, a guy who's never done a single thing to me. I go, look, there's that Bob Geldof guy. What a jerk. Look at those stupid sideburns. He's got like, the sideburns are going all down his face. If you have enough time to stand in a mirror and work on your sideburns for that long, fellas, you know, read a book or something, you know, get a life. As in, like, this has always tripped me out. The guys who go in for, like, the genital piercings. I'm a modern primitive man. I'm really intense. I'm using my body as an erotic tool to kind of throw a monkey wrench into the oppressive nature of society. I'm into wax tracks records and, you know, beats per minute. And I got 19 Prince Albert piercings in my dick, man. You want to see it? Not especially. I'm very intense. Yeah. Fellas, if you got time to stick 19 needles in your dick, I don't think you're intense. I think you're boring as hell. Hey man, I'm intense. I have 19 pins in my dick. You have that much time to think about your dick? You're that obsessed with this little organ? I mean, come on, get a life. We should give this guy Gulliver's Travels, teach him to drink water. Here, paint the stick over and over. Anything would be more interesting than, I want another one of those things in here, please. And it just, as a side note, do those guys set off airplane metal detectors? Just thinking, because I set them off all the time. So I got these steel cap shoes, and I know the drill. I walk through, I immediately set off everything. Woo, 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 him, you know. Bad guy, and like I just stop, and the one goes, pass through again. I go, you know, I got these, so just get out the. And the one goes, male body search, and they bring the guy over. You know the drill. Stick your arms out. Guy turns on the thing and sets it to his watch. Woo! Okay, goes over you. Nothing. Woo! Belt buckle. Woo! Woo! What do you got down there? My steel cap shoes. All right, man, go ahead. All right, now wax tracks man goes through. Like, woo! What's that? I have like 150 earrings in my ear. Woo! 155 in this one. Okay. Woo! Belt buckle? Woo! Guy looks at his machine again. What? Sir, do you have any pins or metal plates there? No, man, check this out. You're like, any guy who gets like 19 earrings in his dick, do you think he wants to keep that shit to himself?
I have piercings in my dick, but only that special person knows. Me and that special one.
Someone who's going to invest all that time and money and pain to get these things put into him wants to show the world. Here's what I'm setting off your metal thing, man. Check it out. Oh, what a drag. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Bob Geldof going like, there's that Bob Geldof asshole. He made those 2 shitty gigs and put together. We had the world. It's like, what an asshole. Let's go stick a pin in his ass. Ah! And I'm just like trying to crack the lady up, you know, hoping she'd go. She wouldn't even look at me. She's like looking away, and so I go, oh, she's not hearing me. Let's go stick a dynamite down his neck and fucking blow him up. Oh. I can't even like get her to move her mouth upward. You know, I'm just bagging on him, trying to get her to go. She won't even look at me. She's like,
Yeah.
I find out later, he owns the show. Basically, I'm banging on her boss loud enough, so I'm so surprised. I'm really surprised he didn't come in and go like, you got a fucking problem with me or something? But she wouldn't even look at me after that. So anyway, hours go by. The band Living Colour goes out and plays a set. They're amazing. And after that, it's time for me to step up on the platform and do the interview thing. And I can't wait, because that means I get to leave. Right before I get up on the thing, this other band starts in. Now, it's this band from England called Huggy Bear. It's Riot Girl. It's a Riot Girl band. And I don't know if there's like a genre of music Riot Girls play, so I don't know that much about them yet, but this band Huggy Bear was awesome. They basically get up there, they plug in their shit, turn everything on 13, and just yell and scream and smash shit for like 4 minutes. And it was like having your skin peeled off your back. I had to climb up on the stage, sat down in the new shiny interesting person position right next to the TV monitor and the host guy, and this band kicks in, and it's like, it was so loud. And I'm not like one who complains about volume. I mean, I've bumped into a few dBs in my time. So I'm not one to go, hey man, turn that down. I mean, if I do that, then I should just like leave now, you know? This was excruciating. Fillings were dropping out of my head. Blood was coming out of my ears. Like, I felt like my brain was being stabbed by knives. Like, it was excruciating because everything was all on treble. Everything was on bright. And they're just screaming. And they had these little tiny amps. And I was trying to figure out how they're getting so much volume out of these little tiny machines. So I'm up on this chair trying to find a more comfortable place where the notes won't be stinging my head. So finally, 4 minutes later, they finish. And these young folks who have been invited down to the show have been trained all evening. When the bands go on, you dance. When the applaud light comes on, you applaud. When it goes off, you stop. And they are like Pavlov's posse of dogs. So you've got this band like, just like up there like breaking shit. All the kids in the crowd are like this. It looked hilarious. It looked like Top of the Pops Goes to Hell. It was like, Belinda Carlisle's audience dancing to a cement mixer with a cat in it. And it looked hilarious. And I was wondering why none of these kids' heads were exploding, because they're like right near the stage. And I was like 30 feet back and I was dying. So anyway, they finish. I'm like sitting in this chair, like just rattled. I look over to my right side. Paula Yates has been the guest on before me. You don't know Paula. Paula is Bob Geldof's wife. So I go, I see a little bit of nepotism going on. And I look over at old Paula. Paula's face has about an inch of makeup on it. And I just feel like taking my index finger and going, like this, watching it roll off. She has a very low-cut shirt on, and her breasts are taking issue with the world. She's just like, someone goes, Henry, this is Paula Yates. I go, hi. She goes like, hello. And I'm like, yes, I see them. Okay. She has makeup on her breasts. They are shaded. The cleavage is shaded, so it looks good for camera. And I go like, this woman is like utterly fake. The face, you just like smear it off. I look over to my left side to meet Host Man. Host Man looks like they've just taken his face, taken spackling paste, smacked it all over his face, let it dry, and just like belt sanded his face, like just planed him off. He just looks like RoboCop or something. And he's all tan and just like, he's like all riveted off and stuff. And he's like, hello, Henry. I'm like, hello. At least he got my name right. Usually when you do those shows, and this is my friend, Harry Rollins. You're like, my name is Henry. So he got the name right. And so he starts in with his questions, trying to piss me off. And I know he's going to do this. I've been warned. Henry is going to try and get you to really, kill him or something. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So he goes, Henry, I hear you hate England. I see 300 kids go like, they want to hear what I have to say. I go, no, man, I don't hate England. I think you all are cool. You know, I see all these towns are filthy, the food's horrible, the music's bad. You know, I don't see how a young person can grow up, you know. This England is just freezing cold all the time. It rains, no one has any color in their cheeks. You know, Haircut 100 came out of here, you know. Lines are long, you have to write out permission to do everything. You have to get, like, you know, local council approval to take a bus. You know, the local heating inside your apartment takes like 1 pound coins into a little metal box. I mean, you know, I think that the fact that anyone can grow up here and survive is pretty awesome. I think you guys are pretty great. So basically, I just like totally ripped the country. And everyone's like, yeah, I'm all right, you know? So I said, you know, because they do these young people, man, you gotta have a lot of bottle, you know, to get through England. It's a hell of a test. And so the guy's like, okay, Henry, I hear you hate the band U2. And like 297 kids go like, don't you fuck with my Bono, man. So I go, no, I don't like hate him like I want to kill him or anything. I just kind of hate what they're doing to music, just because I think that they're kind of like an advertisement for music. Not, you know, not music, but a music that's like Beatlemania. Not the Beatles, but an amazing recreation, like Randy Hansen doing Jimi Hendrix. Jimmy's dead, but Randy rocks on, you know? And I said, what they do to music is pathetic. And the guy says, well, they're doing a 3-year tour. How can you say that that's pathetic? I said, well, it's musically unambitious. The guy goes, how can you say that? Their tour is, you know, 400 shows and they're playing too big. Blah, blah. I said, well, it's the same 13 songs a night for 3 years, and the only thing that changes is the stadiums get bigger and the TV screens get bigger. So you can go to a bigger place, sit farther away from the band, and see a bigger TV screen. So it's not really live, it's live-like, but you're watching the band on TV. Now, can it get to the point to where the band doesn't have to show up? You can just get guys to dress up like them, jump around, and just play the whole thing off, you know, DAT, and just have it up on Laserdisc, up on the screen. And think about it, if we were at the big cow field, and you're 80,000 people back from the edge, and it was just like some burnout they found in a parking lot put a top hat on them and just like make them, you know, give them like 2 minutes of guitar lessons. Like, okay, you're great, just get up there. All right. And if you were say you were only merely like half a mile back from the stage, and you look and you go, wow, that guy doesn't look like the Edge. But you just know I've never seen him in person before, and you know, people always look different than their videos and their pictures. I guess that really is him. And you wouldn't know, you know. But I said musically, you know, those guys are like they're slobs, they're bums. They go, how can you say that? I said, well, dig it, man. Bono and company goes into the studio for a year to make 13 songs, to make Achtung Baby. Now if that title doesn't give the whole fucking game away, they should just call it The Invasion of Poland. They should just like the whole thing is like, buy this! I'm sure Bono's like come to every one of your houses. Have you bought my record yet? Well, no, I really don't. Buy my record. Okay, easy. I take American Express, Visa, cash, anything you got. I have the CD right here. Okay, I'll buy it. Thank you. Close the door. I guess I have it now. You know? They go into the studio for a year. They come out a year later with 13 songs that sound kind of like, you know, T-Rex goes to meet like some clubhouse mixer, you know? And they go, this is a new step for us. Yeah, you're ripping off other people now. That's fantastic. And so they go out and they tour the 13 songs for 3 years, and the Enormodomes get bigger. And what do you get musically out of this? You get 10 CD singles that are released like every 3 months. Now, we get the 1 CD single. What do we get on that? We get the album track. Oh, thanks, I didn't already have that. Okay. And then track 2 is the same song, but it's the 3-minute version of the 3-minute and 20-second song. It's the radio edit. Oh boy, I really need to hear that. That's fascinating. The thing where
Bono comes in on the 2 instead of the 4 and the outro fades 7 seconds quicker. That's fascinating. Thanks, Bono, for letting me see behind the scenes. You're sincere. You're not holding anything back from me. It's like being on stage with you, man. Track 3 is the same dopey song with a generic house beat underneath it. Bonus beat track. Or they always give it like some To the Walls remix version. On the Ceiling remix version. Standing on 1 foot remix version. You know, Engineer on Dope version. I mean, so like, even better than the... What are you supposed to do in your living room? Okay, so you play the CD, it's like, 17 minutes long. You feel like a stupid asshole for buying it. You are too embarrassed to take it down to the used record store, because you know there's going to already be like 4 feet of them across the used shelf. I have my seat. Never mind. Okay? You're too ashamed to throw it out. It's like a book, you get a dumb book. You don't want to throw it. It's a book. For some reason, it's not bullshit. It's a book. I can't throw it. So you end up putting it on your shelf, and it takes up more weight, and you have more stuff in your life. By the end of the tour, 3 years from now, you have 10 of these useless singles on your shelf under the U section, and you never play them, and your friends come over and like, you really bought those things? Yeah, I did too. And it's just an utterly useless thing. Like, how many people will admit to buying a Vanilla Ice record? Okay, the guy sold 10 million records of the first album. 10 million of us bought that record. Where are they now? You could go door to door like, can I come in? I guess. Just like walk right into a guy's house. That's smart in America. Hi! Where's your Vanilla Ice record? And you'll see the guys move very stiffly and suspiciously backwards towards his CD rack and stand very nervously in front of the V section. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to grab the Vanilla Ice CD with the cheeks of his ass and get it and squeeze it in there and walk backwards with it towards a trash can. Get rid of it. Like, what are you hiding back there? Oh, nothing but Van Halen and Velvet Underground back here. Little Van Morrison. Yeah? You sure you don't have any Vanilla Ice back there? Vanilla Ice? No way! I don't like that stuff. So it's, I said, old U2 kind of lowers our expectations for what musicians can achieve, and they kind of turn people into these people who will go and actually watch a band play from 5 miles away from the stage, which I think is kind of unhealthy, So anyway, as I said, that's just my take on it, and also they, bands like them kind of turned us, the audience, and the record industry into those who expect very little and pay very much and kind of expect to get fucked over. Like when a band plays at that level, they can sleep through a gig. You will never know a good one from a bad one when so many things are being triggered and sampled and put up on TV. We sucked tonight. I can't tell. We were great tonight. I can't tell. And you go home. That rocked, I think. Well, I paid $70 for the ticket, so it must have rocked. All right. And you go home, man, they were awesome. Because you're so embarrassed to say it sucked. I threw up on my leg. I didn't see it. The guy hit me in the parking lot. I bought these 2 Octoon baby condoms for $7. What was I thinking? And I said they've got, bands like that have taken the record industry and turned into like this obscene business. As in, if Miles Davis was alive, the 1955 era Miles Davis happened now in 1993, like pure genius. Guy who's dropping 3 to 4 amazing records a year. You wake up Thursday, he's done another record. You wake up Saturday morning, hello, it's Miles, I've done another album. Fuck! Next week, I just did a double album. While you were asleep, you stupid motherfucker, I just done another album. The guy was like on fire, and the record company's like putting him out, and people were like, cool, more Miles, boom, and the stuff was great, But these days, if Miles was doing that, like pure genius, working at genius speed, CBS would go, no, Miles, you're doing too much product, Miles. Too much product. Don't want to put too much product on the market. Miles, people are stupid. They won't understand. You'll move too fast for them, Miles. Put out 1 album, we'll do 10 shitty remix singles off the album, and you can tour the product for 3 years. but by that time I've written 98 more million songs. Miles, don't be a genius. People don't like genius. People want to be able to relate to you. So be stupid. Miles, we've been training these people for years. Don't fuck up the program. And like, there's no idiots in this place. I don't know any of you. You know, a few of you I talked to standing over there. I don't think there's any idiots. Is there any idiots here? You know, they're all pointing at me. Don't do that. No. But I mean, if a guy did like 3 great records in 1 year, would that be too much for you? No, you could handle it. You don't need to be fucking led around, you know? And I said, that's my problem with you too. And bands like them, it takes great young minds, inspiration, love of music, and takes all that good shit and shoves it up your ass and charges you double. So I said, that's why I don't like them. But, you know, if anyone else wants to go get into them, hey, man, you know, my way I protest bands like that is I don't show up. I don't like to slash anybody's tires. Fuck that. And so everyone in the crowd goes like, remember, we're back in England? Okay. Everyone in the crowd goes like, well, you know, I like Bono, but good point. And the guy sees that he's not going to piss me off. And I am making him a modicum of sense to this guy. So he's like, meh. So he goes, all right, now we'll cut away to a video. And this was great. They cut away to a video of a girl from England interviewing the Barbie Twins. Okay, maybe you've heard of them, maybe not. I will give you a brief explanation. The Barbie Twins are these 2 girls in Los Angeles. I don't know where they come from, but they live in Los Angeles, and they are like poster pinup girls, and they are identical twins. They have identical lip implants, identical breast implants, identical dyed hair jobs. And this girl is interviewing them, taking the piss out of them big time, and they don't even get it. And maybe they were dipping into the Lee Strasberg method thing, but the way they were acting, somebody had been like feeding them like paint for 30 years or something. They were so stupid. And they're just trying to turn everything this girl is saying into some kind of sexual innuendo. Like, so what kind of, do you 2 sisters like prefer different kinds of men? And they're talking like this. Have you ever seen a woman, anybody, have you ever seen a woman like at a supermarket, like buying something like this? Who the fuck came up with that pose for a woman? You know who did? Some guy did, not a woman. Come on, honey, get your arms underneath those things. Come on, get them up there. Get those lips out. Because, you know, that's the vision of, like, the hot woman is the voluptuous lips. So now these babes get all this, like, rubber injected into their lips. So the lips go from merely voluptuous to, like, you saw them the last time on a large fish on a Jacques Cousteau special. Kiss me now! Look at me! These women are like, they're insane looking. They're like souped up. It's like when you get your car jacked up and back. These women have done this shit to their bodies. They're like super turbo powered. And they're insane looking. And they have like the studio tan, and they're just like, okay, the English girl is ripping the shit out of them, and they don't even know it. American humor, you know, you've seen Roseanne, you've seen those shows. The jokes are like, boom, boom, boom. Here comes a joke. Joke incoming. All right. Here it comes. Breast reference. Oh, I get it. Oh, I love this show. Ratings. You've seen English humor. Blink, you've missed 2 references, 1 sly witticism, and a devastating joke. If you go like, watching Monty Python, you've missed like 11 amazing things. I think the English, the weather's so shitty, the English sit inside. They spend a lot of time inside doing a lot of thinking, and they are like the best comics on earth. That like English TV comedy shows, you will piss yourself watching. They're amazing, you know? And so this girl's just like dealing. The kids in the audience at the word is like, ah! Because they know that this girl's like taking the piss out of these 2 girls. And they show an inset of the poster that you can buy. And it's like the two girls fresh out of the shower. Whoops, we just kind of bumped into the shower together with our shirts on. Like, everyone in here takes showers with their shirts on. They come out and like the shirts are torn in all those kind of neat places. How do you get your shirt to tear right where your nipples and belly button are? I can do that for you. Anyone want your shirt torn like that? After the gig, we'll get your car. I'll tie you by one ankle with some fishing line, and I'll drag you up 7th, okay? And we'll cut you loose, and we'll stand you up, and your shirt will be torn right there, right? And your face will be off. But you'll have that shirt. We'll get you that shirt going, no problem. So these girls have like these designer guys cut this shirt in those ways so you can buy the poster and go like, oh, I'll see some. And I'm not, Mr. Sensitivity or like man on soapbox, but I was like watching this going, what a drag to be a woman and have to endure living on the planet with women like that who are like basically fucking up the playground. And I'm not like running for office or anything, but I'm like looking at that going like, what a sellout to womankind, because women go up against so much critiquing anyway. Like women who are born with large breasts are almost in a way cursed. You've seen women with large breasts, either they're out there, ha-ha! Or like you see women wearing like sleeping bags trying to hide the things so they can go to the store and come back and not get commented upon, ridiculed, fondled, stared at viciously, threateningly, or having some guy talk to the woman. Hey, how you doing? Sir, hello, my eyes are up here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You guys, you wouldn't want those things. You want them in your hands, but you wouldn't want to own those, What a drag, So women are always getting commented upon. And, the idea that a woman would get these things put into her body, I mean, that's, hey, big free country, do what you like. But I think if any of you women are hanging out with guys who find your breasts inadequate in any way whatsoever, you are hanging out with what we loosely call an asshole. Okay? These you seen the Vargas drawings, like Vargas women? They're drawings. They're not real life. They're drawings. The women are like in these ridiculous poses, like the breasts are football size, defying gravity. Like, gravity? Fuck you! Just like, they're out here. It's like, obviously the guy who, does these drawings never bumped into Galileo doing his orange stunt,